Dogliani, Piedmont. Dogliani is a little town few kilometers away from the village of Barbaresco and Serralunga d'Alba. So we have Barolo, we have Barbaresco, and here we have Dogliani. And it's an incredible wine region. I discovered Dogliani, I was like 15 years ago, probably was a bit more. Yeah, it was probably a bit more than 15 years ago. And with Nicoletta Bocca, because Nicoletta Bocca made me discover a grape variety that I never considered. It's called Dolcetto. The Dolcetto is a grape variety that it's the everyday, easy type of wine that can never get complexity. You never conceive it as a wine that you can age. And because that's what the recent time, most of the producers in Langhe dedicated to Dolcetto, how they shaped the Dolcetto as the everyday simple type of wine that's not based, it's the cheaper ones. The vineyard usually are not placed in the best part of the hill because you dedicate the best part of the hill to Nebbiolo and maybe sometimes even to Barbera. Nebbiolo to make Barolo and Barbaresco because you can make more money for it. But if you go back a bit time in history, not so far away, 50, 60 years ago, sometimes even less, you probably discovered that Dolcetto was one of the most important wines of that area. That was the common wine that used to be drank in, I remember the only time I met Bruno Giacosa, he was really old. Giacosa is like Conterno, it's one of those iconic winemakers. And he said, so what's your favorite type of wine? And he said, I drink Dolcetto. And that's what most of the winemakers there might answer the same, like Bartolo Mascarello and others. I have to say that recently Dolcetto has been a bit sacrificed, as I was telling you before, because that area has been gentrified. Now the vineyard can cost up to $2 million per couple of acres, and so you have to make a wine that you can sell for $40, $50, $100 there, like Barolo and Dolcetto. You will never be able to sell it for that price. But in Dogliani it's different. First of all, because the soil is different, because the vineyard of Dolcetto are planted in the higher part of the hills. Also because it's slightly cooler, and so with global warming, now areas that were, more dedicated to Dolcetto now give you wine that are too warm. For example, producer like Scarsello, they stopped doing Dolcetto because it was becoming a wine that was too cooked. The phenolic maturation was not right. And so when I met Nicoletta Bocca and I found that she was making Dolcetto that could be aged, they were released after 7, 8 years, sometimes even 10 years. I thought, this woman is crazy. How can you age a Dolcetto for 10 years? And the wines were astonishing. They had the spicy complexity and tertiary aroma of the Nebbiolo, but of course with softer tannins and more easy to drink. And so when Marco Battalcino came to New York with his wife, Sara Calcagno, he is a chef, he is the owner of a beautiful restaurant in Dogliani. He came to do some cooking classes in New York and here in Rome. And then I discovered that his wife, Sara Calcagno, worked and still working for Nicoletta Bocca and was making her own Dolcetto. I said, I want to try it. And I actually loved it. This is a Dolcetto that is exactly what I expect from a Dogliani, with a beautiful complexity, nice and spicy, but easy drinking at the same time. This is a wine that can go easily with a similar pairing like the steamed beef from Barolo or truffle plates, but even medium cheese like any type of medium cheese from Comté or from Gruyère, but also or Manchego, or also the typical Castelmagno from the area. It's a wine that in my opinion can be aged up to even 10 years. We're thinking about developing one of our vineyard project with them. There is a vineyard in Dogliani that I have to visit in this summer, so I will keep you updated about this project.